this computer? Okay, here we go. So welcome to our Business Made Easy class. We today are just going to go over doTERRA's incredible business opportunity. And, you know, sometimes this information in the way that it is, all the slides and stuff, sometimes it feels a little complex and it seems a little complex, but I promise you, it really is quite simple. And we'll give you I'll give you an overview this morning. And if you have questions, save them till the end and we'll go through them. And if we don't have time to answer everything, then just get with whoever invited you to this or whoever you have enrolled with, and they will really help you understand this information and this content. But really the purpose is just to touch on all the basis of our compensation plan and just why our company is so incredible and why, now is just such a great time to build a doTERRA business. And I am Gracie Hammer, for those of you who do not know me. I am a functional nutritional therapy practitioner, and I've been building a doTERRA business I'm coming up on my 6th year in March. And I just love it. My husband and I are entrepreneurs. We've built multiple businesses from the ground up, brick and mortar businesses. And this year, especially, we've been really affected by all of just the state of the world and just businesses being shut down and quarantine and whatnot. And so I have to say right out of the gate, I am so grateful that I have been building this business for the last almost 6 years, because it has been such a financial blessing during just this crazy time of life. In fact, not only has my doTERRA business grown, it's thriving right now in this time where a lot of businesses, I think they're saying 1 in 5 small businesses are going out of business because of just all of the circumstances within quarantine and COVID and restrictions and all of that. And in our 2 other businesses, thankfully, they're thriving now, but it has been stressful and brutal. And along this whole process of, the last 8 months, my doTERRA business just really picked up. And I'm just so grateful. I have been building this business alongside of raising 3 little kids and all the other things. And so for you moms out there who are feeling like, I don't think I can do this with little kids at home, you can. And my word of advice is just to do a little bit each day, and that consistency will build a beautiful foundation, and it grows over time, and you get to experience residual income. And that is what has made this time, this pandemic, this chaos time in our world, for me, in my business, that residual income has been what has just been such a blessing. So anyways, I love the business. I love business. I love our compensation plan. I love network marketing. I love this business structure because it is so different than what we have built. And a doTERRA business, you guys, the overhead is so minimal. And so it makes it very doable for anybody and everybody. And so you can take this information and share it with your friends and family, potential business partners, and really explain to them that the overhead, if you want to start a business, a brand new business, it takes tens of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars. And we've done both. We've built businesses from just the ground up, from our blood, sweat, and tears and our own financing. And we've also built businesses where we have business partners, and we've raised a ton of millions of dollars for those businesses. And so we've kind of done it all, and we keep coming back. Well, not kind of, we have done it all. And we keep coming back to my doTERRA business, and the reality of the overhead of this business technically is only $100 a month. But we, our family of 5, we go through oils and supplements. I mean, we go through probably 300 or 400 PV dollars basically worth of product from doTERRA. So when we're talking about overhead, and when you're talking to someone who is like, I don't really know if I can do this business because I can't afford the 100 PV, I want you to stop and just think and talk with them. And even if this is resonating with you, and realize to start a business that will make, and potentially, depending on how much time and energy you have to put into it, will make a substantial income for you. And with a minimal overhead. So I wanted to put that out there. That is just kind of my testimony of this business, and I love it. And I think it's so fascinating. And I think it's so incredible to get paid for something that you love and you're passionate about, and something that you can speak about and educate on. And then the people that you educate on, you're preparing them to be able to do the same, and you get paid off of all of the people that they share this information with, and that ripple effect will continue to grow. And it's so incredible. So I love this business structure. I love this business model. And people have come to me over the years and like, aren't you afraid of network marketing? And I'm like, no, because doTERRA specifically chose network marketing for a product that people have to talk about, people have to share, because it's healing. And truthfully, when we get to the root of it, it is changing generations. And so that is my passion behind this, is that truly what I'm building is changing generations for my kids and their kids, because I'm creating financial freedom for our family. And then as they get older, they'll take on this as well, and their kids. And so we not only are changing, people's health and well-being and their mental state, but we're changing the financial outlook. And so I am so passionate about this business, and I love it. So this today, though, we'll focus on business, and then I will answer just any questions that you guys have at the end of this. So grab your pen, grab a paper, you guys, or your phone, and I want you to take notes, and maybe turn your notifications off so you're not getting them, so we can just focus for the next 30 minutes on this content. And so you really grasp it and you really understand it. So those of you, if you're kind of exploring what this business opportunity is, maybe you're asking the question of, what would be the best part of running my own business? How do I feel about network marketing? What intrigues me about, doTERRA in general, and what would residual income mean for your family? And so these questions are really good. And so maybe you are a business owner, like I was, and maybe you're looking just to diversify and have some other streams of revenue. And maybe you actually have hated network marketing or the concept of it, or direct sales. Like you're like, ugh, it's not for me. It's not something that I identify with. I don't want to be that person selling to all my friends and family and trying to get them to do this, but the whole point is to really shift your perspective on that. And I hope even just what I shared with you guys has shifted that. And when we're talking about what is intriguing you about the business opportunity, what is it? Why are you here this morning? So these are all questions that, I just want you to jot down. Okay. So, and what does residual income mean to you in your family? What is that? What does that allow you to do? Does that allow you to go on vacations? Does it allow you to quit possibly a job that you hate? These are the questions that I want you guys to be thinking about as we go on. So what does financial freedom mean to you? And I think that this is such a really good example. And we like to use the example of a teacher, right? So a teacher, they work throughout the school year, and they have summers off, which is really, a lot of people prefer that. And that's kind of this perk of the job. But a lot of the teachers that I know, they actually work so much, right? They work, way longer hours than just a 9 to 5. And they're on the weekends grading papers and still doing tons of work. And usually even on the summers, they're back into preparing for the next year. And so there's just that, we start to talk about time freedom and what that looks like. So now, what I love, and you could put any traditional job in this spot. It doesn't have to be a teacher. I just think we do actually have a lot of teachers that come on here. So, but you look at doTERRA and you're talking about a business structure that allows you to work basically anywhere in the world, and to work smarter and not harder on what your dreams and your passion and your goals are for, yourself and your family and those you love around you. So I think that when we look at a traditional job versus a sales job, we'll just say doTERRA, but you're trading hours for dollars on that traditional job, right? There's a cap. It's limited on, how much you can earn, right? Usually you start out kind of low, and you each year go up a little bit. You get a small percentage of an increase, and your time freedom is limited, right? And a huge one is that you're building someone else's business. You're building their dream. You're building something that they've created. And at the end of the day, you are disposable. And that is, in this day and age, to me, is really scary. We have had, before COVID, we had 42 employees between our two businesses. And you guys, there was a couple months where we had to literally lay off like 99% of them. And so as a business owner, you feel so, you just feel so responsible for their livelihood. And it's something that you carry as this business owner. But at the end of the day, it was like, we couldn't afford to keep them on while things were shut down. And so it is like, you are disposable. Unfortunately. So authentic direct sales, doTERRA's business structure, is really true residual income. You're building something that goes on and on. When you set someone up with their first account and they're using the oils, they're going to continue to use those. And what happens is naturally they're going to share with other people. That's just what happens. And naturally those people, that ripple effect, you get paid a percentage off of every single order that those people and their ripple effect have purchased for years on end, right? So there really is, what's cool is that this allows you to basically advance as far up our structure and our ranking system as you want. And there's no cap on it. And even at the cap, it will continue to grow. So essentially our top rank is Presidential Diamond, but there's many people, or I should say a couple handfuls of people who have built past that. And so again, there's not a cap on what you can earn. It's up to you and what your passion is and what you want to do and what you want to build and how much time you're willing to actually put into building it. So you get to choose your schedule and how that looks, and you get to be the designer, the creator of your dream and where you're going in this life. So why doTERRA though? Why doTERRA over other marketing companies? I would say right off the bat, they're just incredible humans. But they're so smart, and they have the structure that they chose for doTERRA's essential oils and their products. They chose the business structure to go. They chose the business structure because they wanted as many people as they could to get their hands on these incredible, life-changing, healing products, right? And so a lot of network marketing companies they come up with a business structure and then they find a product to match their business structure. So doTERRA was completely swapped, right? And that's a really important part. But we are the most trusted, the most tested company, essential oil company. We have over 8 million customers. Our products, our essential oils and products are used amongst doctors and hospitals worldwide because of the quality, because of the therapeutic quality of our oils. And we have record-breaking retention. It's 65%, you guys. And what that means is that when someone starts using our products, they start to feel well, right? They start to feel good. Their energy comes back. Maybe their emotions start to level out. And they literally won't stop using them, because who wants to stop feeling amazing, right? So because this product is so powerful, our retention rate is very high. And because of our model of education and continuing to educate people and not just to sign them up and get them going and peace out. No, we take them under our wing. And you guys have probably all felt that. We love to educate and make sure people feel really confident and empowered to really live this more natural lifestyle. And so our retention rate is, it's 65% on average, but I have seen it up to 72%. So it is very high. And that is, if you look at the average industry rate, it's 13%. So that's where network marketing has had a bad rap, is because of that specific percentage. A lot of people are just selling to get a quick sale and that's it, done and done. There's not this partnership with your customers. So it's proven. So we are the largest essential oil company in the world. Our growth rate is similar to Apple. We hit $1 billion after 7 years. We're working on that next billion right now. The timing, I talked about the timing already. It's really, now is better than ever to build a doTERRA business. We are open in 120 markets worldwide. So your family member who lives in Australia or New Zealand, they have, they can have easy access to oils as well. In fact, there's 120 other markets that we have open around the world. So all throughout Europe and whatnot. And that allows us to grow internationally. We are a privately owned company that will remain privately owned. We will never be sold out and traded on the market. It is a very important part to our owners that it remains private, so they can maintain the quality of the company and where this company is going. And we're debt free, you guys. This is like the biggest part of this. We're debt free. There's no outside funding. And so in an economy that has been failing, we're seeing that doTERRA and the way that they have structurally set up their business to be prepared for such a time as this crazy pandemic, that they are prepared. And so our business is not going anywhere. Caring. So we create partnerships with growers around the world. And this is an important part to why we have, why we source around the world. And just this co-impact sourcing basically is giving back to these incredible people who, we have partnered with to harvest and to grow the most nutrient dense, most therapeutic, pure essential oil. And it is just so powerful. I want to show you guys a really short video in a second, but really one of the most important part is that doTERRA is teaching these different communities to preserve the agricultural traditions that they have. And that's through our co-impact sourcing, but really helping them to create a sustainable business and create a sustainable crop that will continue to give back, not something that just strips the land and they have to move on, but it's something that really goes in and it supports these communities incredibly well and is allowing them to dream and changing their economic state as well. So we have a nonprofit Healing Hands Foundation that gives back. And as you grow your doTERRA business, not only are you changing your life and the lives of your friends and family, but that bottle has this crazy ripple effect. And I really, if you're at all just interested in this whole aspect of our company, it is the most powerful part of our company to me, because you are affecting so many other people. This one bottle of spearmint that I love, when I purchased this, it affects so many other people. There are so many people down the chain that actually, are blessed by us purchasing this one bottle. So it's really cool that you get to experience that. And then, so yeah, every purchase, like I said, every purchase changes growers' lives and their communities. And so just go into source2u.com and check that out. It's so powerful. I want to share you guys my other, I have to share this. Where is it? Oh, wait, hold on. I just want to share one of these short videos. All right, but why is my thing not popping up? Okay, here it is. All right, here it goes. Share. Okay, you guys can see that now, yeah? Okay.
Many people don't realize that frankincense was the first worldwide export, and it all began in Oman thousands of years ago. There is such a rich history. Boswellia sacra is the frankincense species that is sourced from Oman. Frankincense was more precious than gold, had a higher value than even gold. The frankincense trade route, it began there in Oman, went up through Yemen, and then up along the Arabian Peninsula, all the way up to Petra, where then there were ports that took it out to the rest of the world. I want to introduce you to Ashad. He's our frankincense partner from Oman. we've just come across a frankincense tree that has recently been scored.
If you look at the distance between the first Vincian and the second, it's about 2.5 feet. This is the correct way of harvesting.
So you want about 2.5 feet.
That's right, yeah. Between each and incision. Yeah. It starts off like a milky liquid and then dries out into crystals, and then they drop. After about 2 weeks, it will be collected by the harvesters. After the second week, they'll come back again and make another incision in the same spot. And they make the first incision, you do not have a lot of resin which comes out. Second incision, it increases. Third, you get much more resin out. This was made last year and it is healing. Right. So they have not touched this area at all. Once once the season finishes, this particular area will be left to rest.
Because of our partnership with Ashad and Saeed, in 2020, we will propagate 20,000 new Boswellia sacra trees in Oman. There's already 500 in the ground. They're thriving. Many of them are several years old.
It's like a baby growing.
Yeah.
And this thing is going to grow into a big tree that is going to support many, many different projects in the future. And this is the heritage. This is the heritage of a country, of Oman.
So you guys can find a lot of, it's called, this whole series is called Behind the Bottle. And they're just short videos on dōTERRA, on all a whole bunch of different oils and whatnot. What's happening? Okay, let's get out of this now. So yeah, and then source2.com, there's a ton more videos. They're, longer and more in depth, and you definitely can get a grid for just all the different partners that we have, and just incredible stories of people's lives just being radically changed through dōTERRA. So I recommend you guys definitely check those out. It really pulls on your heartstrings, and it it's where you're gonna go, oh my gosh, dōTERRA is so much more than just an essential oil company. We truly have just so many incredible humanitarian efforts that are taking place behind the scenes, and it's a huge part of this company's mission, is to give back to the world. So, okay, so moving on to some questions that a lot of people do have initially when they're trying to decide if dōTERRA is, is this for me? How does it work? I'm gonna break down all of this for you guys now. How do you make money? How much time is it gonna take me to build my, business? And, how do I do this? How do I start? And so, I have to say, building a business with dōTERRA really, it's simple, and it's not easy. It takes time, like anything, building anything, but it is simple. And if you really are able to follow a system, and you're focused, and you can get things done, and you're self-motivated, this business can be very successful for you guys. So simply, what we do is we sample people. We teach you how to use your essential oils. And we put you into continuing education. You obviously enroll, and then you're just supported through our continuing education. And in that, you get to really partner with us. So this is literally what it takes to build a business: sampling, teaching, enrolling, and then just having great customer support. So, if you might ask, how much, time is involved. If you're wanting just to have your product paid for, so essentially you want to just kind of casually share and make sure that you have that product available. You want to maybe set up accounts, for your friends, and share oils with them and teach them how to do it 3 to 5 hours a week to get your initial order paid for. And if you're really truly wanting to supplement an income, 10 to 15 hours a week. And then if you are coming in full blown, maybe you've lost a job and you're like, I have to replace an income, a full income, I would say 15 to 30 hours a week. Now, the cool thing about all of these averages is that you get to be the creator of, your time and what you do with it and how it works. And so if you're very focused, that, you might be on that lower end. So if you're really focused and you're replacing income, if you can spend a few hours a day just strictly on your doTERRA business and building your doTERRA business, then you can literally replace a full-time income within that short period of time each week. So it just depends as to how much, focus you have and, your clarity and all of that. So is this for you? Well, if you're passionate about oils, if you care about people, and like I said, if you are good at following directions in a system, we have a really duplicatable system. And it allows you to get all of the information you need to build your business and the steps to take it. And we walk alongside of you guys as you do this. So if you answer yes to these, and maybe even if it's like a shaky yes, like, yeah, I love people and I am really passionate about natural things, like, that's great. Like, you don't have to know all the things about natural things, but you're interested in it. That's important. Now, if you were someone who didn't like natural things and didn't like people, then this business would be challenging because it is a relational business. And so, okay, let's talk a little bit further about just this concept of residual income and linear versus residual income. So in talking about really time versus money. So this chart is actually an illustration from a famous financial book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Some of you guys have probably heard of that. But we look in this, we'll just start on the left hand, the top box. So if you look at just if you're an employee for somebody, so you're literally trading time for money. There's no leverage. If you don't show up to your job, you don't get paid, right? And so then going down, if you are self-employed, so maybe you own your own business, you own your job, you're still trading time for money. And this could be potentially someone who, you're maybe a personal trainer, or even for me, I'm a functional nutritional therapy practitioner. I do have my own other business. And if I don't see clients, then I don't get paid, right? And so there's that whole swap. I don't have leverage. I have to, that time I spend preparing client charts and preparing protocols for my clients, it's my time, right? I get paid for that if I'm working on it. But if I'm not seeing clients, I'm not getting paid. So you're really trading time for money, and you start over. I like that it says this, you're literally starting over every day at zero, which is kind of, I don't like that. That makes me feel like, oh, but if you go up into the, if you're a business owner, so you own a system and people work for you, right? You are trading other people's time for money. And this is like what we do in our other businesses. So I'm able to leverage to some degree, but I'm still trading time for money, right? So money works for you. As this investor, this last little box, your money is starting to work for you, right? And that's essentially what all of us want, is we want our money to be making us money. We want to have that passive income, and income not dependent on us sitting in a job or having to show up and having to be there. So this is where I really want you to think about doTERRA, because doTERRA is like all of these things. And that's what makes it super exciting. So this passive income, where we're looking at that investor box on the right-hand bottom corner, that's like, we're going to think about that as our residual income, right? And you're also self-employed, and you're like, well, I guess you wouldn't essentially be an employee, right? So, but you do own your own business. So this is like where it kind of gets, I want you guys just to kind of think about that. Does that make sense, you guys? We nod. Okay, cool. So, okay, let's see here. So what are some of the dilemmas in the US? Whoops, I just went back. Okay, so let's look at income, I guess, as kind of, you haven't really looked at it before. So an average income needed for retirement in the US is about $4,500 per month. That's $54,000 per year. So basically a nest egg of 1 million invested and earning 5% on interest. This is if you're taking your nest egg that you've worked for years, and you're investing it into something, right? It needs to be making at least 5% in interest to support you to retire. Bridget, would you mind just muting yourself? Hey, Oh, there it goes. Okay, cool. So you would have to invest that $1 million, right? To be making 5% interest, which is a common interest that you earn off of money, and needed to receive that $45,000 or that $54,000 per year. Okay. So moving forward, 40 years of work, right? So how many have had parents who have worked 40 years in a career and they're saving up to retire? It's like you're saving up and preparing for this time when you're older so you don't have to work as much. 75% of people at the age of 50 have less than 5,000 in their bank account. Okay. So this is really where the dilemma comes in. We're seeing this massive number that is needed to be invested and to have in these retirement accounts to be able to thrive and not to, suffer through these older years where maybe you're dealing with disease and whatever is going on. But like to be free, like for me and watching my parents, like they didn't have this, you guys. And so they're in retirement age and they're having to work full-time jobs right now. And they're tired and dealing with, different diseases that have like been, diagnosed over the years. And so this is like for me, and I'm sure for you guys watching this too, it's like heavy, like this, it's kind of scary. So 75% of the people at age 50 have less than 5,000 in their bank account. I know I already read that, but like, let that sit with you. Okay. 98% of retired people depend on outside financial resources. So whether that be family that supports them or potentially the government, but the government support does not cut it. So these are the dilemmas that we are facing in the US right now. And it's very significant. And I know that a lot of us are very affected by it. So this is where I want to talk about direct sales, because I feel like if we're this business model that we are like, I'm selling to you, essentially, I'm telling you the facts and why it's so important is, we have the built-in business model. I'm able basically to run a 6-figure income with minimal overhead, like I've talked about, right? So anybody can start this, even your parents, right? So it's open and it is lucrative to anybody and everybody who's willing to spend the time. Okay, so we have that built-in business model, product sourcing, order fulfillment, billing, customer service, no inventory, shipping, and or overhead requirements. Okay, so all of those things are required when you have a brick and mortar business. You have to have someone to find the products, to order and fulfill them, to do the invoicing, to be on the phone, to problem solve what's going on, to make sure you have inventory. I mean, these are all things that we deal with on a daily basis for our coffee business, especially. And so what's cool about direct sales is you don't have that. Like any customer service, doTERRA deals with it, right? Of course, I teach my customers how to use things and I help them problem solve their little health issues and whatnot. But I don't have to be the one to send them a new bottle of spearmint, because when it arrived and it was damaged during shipping, I don't have to do that. doTERRA is going to fix that. So it really, this built-in business model allows you to build that 6-figure income from home without having to have all this space and retail space. So I think that that's really important. And another part of this that I love is that doTERRA has an education system that's completely built in. So even if you're not building with me or with one of the other leaders on our team, you could potentially just go to doTERRA's website and educate yourself on how to build a business and how to learn about how to talk about the oils. And so doTERRA has all of this education that is built in, and this beautiful business trainings and leadership development all within our company. And so anyone really can do it. And the startup cost, you guys, is nothing. It's 100 PV a month. And I'm sorry, I have had so many people tell me I can't spend $100. I just can't do it. And that's their hang up for this business. And I'm like, wait, let's take a few steps back. What are you spending $100 on that you could potentially spend on your health and your well-being? And what are a few things that you could maybe just let fall to the side right now? Maybe it's your cable television. Maybe it's I don't know, whatever that is. Maybe it's your Starbucks. Maybe it's your eating out 3 meals a week. What is it that you could invest back into your life, your business, and creating something that is, has just such great potential? And so these are just, this is why direct sales is really powerful, is because the overhead is so minimal. And especially with doTERRA, you're going to be using the products, you're going to be feeling better, you're going to be changing generations, you're going to financially be blessing other people. And so that's why direct sales. So when someone comes to you and says, I don't like network marketing, it's a pyramid scheme, you say, wait a second. Not all network marketing companies are created equal in any way. And I'm going to show you this. doTERRA's compensation plan is really powerful. But these are the things that you want to be thinking about, okay? So I want you guys now to dream. I want you to think about what your number is, and the best way to predict your future is really to create it and put hard work into it, right? So I want you to look at these numbers, and as I go through them, you guys, I want you to not be overwhelmed by, oh, how am I going to get there? But rather I want you to dream and allow yourself to dream, because these are real numbers, and they're lucrative, you guys. They really are. I mean, how many of you guys have looked at this and you're like, what? I could make an extra $2,000 a month doing this? Like, what? Yeah, and that's just one of our lower ranks. Sky's the limit, you guys. So at executive, it takes about 2 months. So at the bottom, you'll see the month number. This is the average time. I want to preface this with, you can build as fast or as slow as you want, okay? This is 100% on you. The playing field, this whole thing, it's even playing field for all of us, okay? So executive is having 2,000 in overall volume, okay? You're making about $100 a month. It takes about 2 months to get there. Elite is having 3,000 overall volume. The average monthly income is about $300 a month, and it takes people anywhere from 1 to 3 months to get there. Again, you can do it quicker or slower, depending on your time that you have to commit to this. The rank of Premier is 5,000 in overall volume. This is where our business structure starts. And this is where it might start to sound a little foreign and a little confusing. I'm just going to run through it. And again, as you're building your business and you're working with the person who you've enrolled with, we walk alongside of you as you're building your business, and we mentor you through this whole process. But I want you just to have some tangible numbers in your head so you can have an idea of what you're creating with doTERRA, okay, in your business. So an average monthly income for the rank of Premier is about $830 a month, and it takes about 6 months to get there if you are focusing on building. Silver, you have now 3 elites underneath you, and that organized volume is 9,000 in overall volume, and you're making about $2,000 a month, okay? And it takes people about 18 months to get there. Now, moving up to the rank of Gold, you have 3 premiers underneath you. You're making about $4,700 to $5,000 a month, and it takes about, a little over 2 years to get there. Platinum, you have 3 silvers underneath you. So we get paid for organizing our volume, you guys. So these 3 silvers under you are allowing you to make about $9,000 to $10,000 a month, and it takes about 37 months to get there. Diamond, average monthly income is $16,000 a month. Blue Diamond is $37,000 a month, and then Presidential Diamond is about $100,000 a month, you guys. $110,000 a month is the average income for a Presidential Diamond. That is our top rank. But again, I told you, we've had a handful of people in our company who have surpassed that, and so they're actually building double presidential organizations. So they're making a lot of money each month, and it takes about 71 months to get there in total. So you guys, these are doable. These are doable, 100%. And the numbers are such a blessing, and they're real, and they're monthly averages. And I think sometimes people are like, what? So yes, these are monthly averages. So, okay, how do we actually make money? This is where I'm going to dive into our comp plan. So one of the first ways that we make money is through Fast Start. So Fast Start bonus is you basically, when you set up you help them set up their first order, you get paid 20% off of that first order, and we're paid in PV, so it's a points value. And most dollars match the points for most products, but there are a couple oils and a couple supplements that the PV, the points value, is a little bit less than the dollar amount. Does that make sense? Okay. So when I help you set your first order up, I get 20% off of that. If you decide within that 60 days to place another order, I still get 20% off of that. So it's 20% off of all of that volume that comes in for the first 60 days. Now the person that enrolled me, who is Season then gets 10% of that, and then her sister Anna gets 5% of that. And so this is a really great way when you're brand new to doTERRA to make really quick money. And that's by setting up a lot of accounts and having people helping them, find their solutions for their health and plugging them in with the correct, maybe a kit or a specific custom order that best fits them. And from there, you get 20% off of, you get paid 20% off of that order. Okay. So again, this is like the little structure right here. I enroll Amy, you earn 20% off of Amy's order. Amy enrolls Joe. Amy earns 20% off of Joe's order. I earn 10%. So same thing I just talked about with Season and Anna. Joe enrolls Sue, and Joe earns 20% from Sue's order. Amy earns 10% from Sue's order, and you earn 5% from Sue's order. So this is just one of the ways that we are compensated for sharing. Now we have another bonus, and this is a monthly bonus. So going back, Fast Start, we are paid weekly. This is our only bonus that we're paid weekly. But I'll tell you what, when you need to make ends meet and you need to pay for groceries and rent, this is going to be the best way to really make sure you're making that money, is to enroll as many people as possible. So then one of our first monthly bonuses is called the Power of 3. And this is paid based on our structure, and we get paid again for organizing our volume. So each team right here needs to have 600 team volume to receive this bonus. So I am top one here, okay? And I have 3 people. These 3 people all are placing at least 100 PV order, and I'm placing maybe a 200 or 300 PV order. And together we have 600 overall in team volume between the 4 of us. So then I earn a $50 check from that, okay? So then when you have your best friend has partnered with you, she has 3 people who are also doing this, then and so on and so forth. Then you move back down, and this chain has to all stay connected. And this, again, just hear me out for a minute. And we will work with you as you're building this and teach you how to do it properly. You get a $250 bonus. Now, when all of those 3 people are also have that same 600 PV overall volume and they're ordering, and these are based off 100 PV LRP orders each month, then you can earn a $1,500 bonus. That $1,500 bonus at some of those earlier ranks, you guys, is so wonderful to have. And so this is just yet another way that we are earning income from doTERRA. And this is really fun too, because this unilevel structure right here is really brilliant. And doTERRA, unlike all other network marketing companies, has actually done something which allows our business structure to become very lucrative. And so this is like the most exciting part of our income to me. So this unilevel is flipped. So unlike normal compensation plans, most compensation plans are actually paid. So you can see a typical one, this percentage, this very top line, this gray line right here, you're paid a higher percentage for that first level. And as you go down, this, you see it drops. So 6%, 6%, 5%, 5%, 3%, 2%. On that 7th level is 2%. Well, okay, now let's scroll over to where doTERRA on that 7th level, actually see how that's flipped. We get paid 7% off of all the people who are 7 levels down. So that means that I enrolled you, you enrolled your mom enrolled her best friend enrolled her sister enrolled her friend, and her friend enrolled her neighbor. And so you're getting paid more based off of all that ripple effect, right? And what is crazy is you see the volume, you see the numbers go up significantly. Okay, so what's most important about this is it's the support of the team. It's the continuing education. It's that educational and that empowerment, that energy, that relationship. So it is in my best interest to make sure that you and your whole team are wonderfully supported, because your success is my success. My success is your success. So this is where I love, this is our culture in doTERRA is very family oriented. It's very relationship based. And a lot of that goes into this structure, you guys. Not only is it like, this is where it becomes very lucrative, but it's so, so powerful. So this is where you really see that doTERRA rewards just with education and just really supporting your customers really well. So yeah, I just think, you know, if you're looking at other business structures and a typical unilevel would only pay out 12,000 off of this specific structure that you're looking at, but our structure, you see that it's 32,000. So that is, it is a significant difference. And that is also why doTERRA, they've created this brilliant compensation plan that takes all these aspects of a more traditional type of network marketing company business structure, and they've made it our own. So another bonus that is so wonderful is, so remember when I showed you all of the ranks? So once you start to hit the leadership ranks, which is the rank of Premier, you basically get to start dipping into profit sharing. And this is another very lucrative bonus that we get. So now you have all these bonuses. doTERRA takes the total of the monthly sales now and divides it between our leaders at their specific rank. So now we have, you know, this new empowerment bonus too for the rank of Premier. And so if you enroll one person, if Premiers and Silvers enroll at least one person a month, you're getting an extra share. So you're getting an extra $150 a month for that person that you enroll. So they're constantly adding to this. And then as a gold, if you enrolled 2 people, you're getting 2 shares, which is about $320 a month, in addition to all of the other bonuses. So we have just these incredible ways. And so this updated empowerment bonus, it's basically allowing some of our lower ranks to make a little extra money for really building their business and being focused. So Premiers get that 1 share, Golds the 2 share, and Silvers, like I said, that single share. And this is just a really wonderful additional bonus. And doTERRA is always forward thinking. They're never taking away, but they're always giving us tools to build our business and to be more successful. And so Power of 3, this is really cool. So if we're going back, you guys, to that box, the 4 quadrants, and we're talking about investment and time. If we use just specifically our Power of 3, so at level 1, you're making $50 a month, right? Which is a $600 per year total. The average time it would take to earn this bonus is 3 months. If we're speaking about investing, right? And you would need to invest about $12,000 to earn that 5%. So you have to have this massive chunk of money and these are averages. Yes, there are other companies or there are, you know, other investments that you might invest that might yield a much higher yield, but it's also way riskier, right? So if we're thinking on average and maybe a little bit more conservative, if you're investing $12,000, which is a lot of money, you would have to, you know, it would still take so much time. So again, we're talking about time versus money. We're talking about investing, and we're talking about overhead, and we're talking about all these things. And we're bringing it all back to why direct sales is so important. So level 2, if you're making $250 a month, that's $3,000 a year that you're getting. This is just a bonus, you guys. The average time it takes to earn this bonus is 6 months. So, and you would need to have $60,000 invested in earning 5% to be able to make that extra $3,000 a month. Level 3, $1,500 a month, which is what, $18,000 a year. You would need $360,000 invested and earning 5% to be making that extra $18,000 a year. So you guys, these bonuses are so lucrative. And when we break them down like that, you're like, oh my gosh, like you could be potentially working and investing and reinvesting this money back into your business that is going to be earning money off of the money, right? So that's where we start to see that beautiful residual income. So unilevel. So I'll break a couple more down for you guys. The average income is $2,200 per month. That's $26,400 per year. The average time it takes to reach silver is 1 year. So you would need $528,000 invested, earning 5% to make that back. Okay, it's huge. Average income for a gold is $4,500 per month, and that is $54,000 per year. Average time to reach gold is about 30 months. You would need to invest over $1 million and be earning 5% off of that to make sense, right? So you guys, this is why it's so lucrative. So here is really just a typical 10-year plan versus a 10-year doTERRA plan. So if you're, a teacher versus building your own business with doTERRA specifically, you can see. So year one, you start teaching, you're making $51,000 a year. 10 years after you've poured your heart and soul into that specific district, you have, you've had some bonuses over the year, and you're sitting nice at $67,000 a year. Okay. But let's break this down. So if you want to move beyond that, then this is like where we see a doTERRA business plan. So basically, sky's the limit. Yes, it takes time, it takes focus, it takes some persistence for sure in this business. And it takes dealing with your staff, working, we call this business it's a personal development business, because when you're building your own business, you're faced with your own limiting beliefs. And so we have to constantly be looking at those and working through them, and working through the self-talk of, I can't do this. I don't have enough information. I'm not smart enough, whatever the negative self-talk is. You have to be working through that. And so, you have an employee versus, building your own business. You have to be working on yourself. And so that's why we say it is a personal development business. But when you're looking at these numbers, it's crazy. So here's a doTERRA, a 10-year plan. If you were consistent for 10 years building your doTERRA business, then at year one, you're making about $1,200 that year, right? And then at year 10, you're making a 7-figure income. You guys, this is real. And a lot of us have hit these ranks way sooner than that average time says. So again, sky's the limit, you guys. And I say all this to help you dream about what you personally can create. Okay, so what are the next steps? Most of you on here, I imagine that you do have a wholesale account. If you don't have a wholesale account and you have not set up your account yet, please get with the person who invited you to this. If it's myself, just contact me. And if it's one of our other leaders, just contact them, and we'll set you up with your first order and get you going, and make sure that you have that 100 PV orders set for each month, so you do get paid your commissions. And then what we do is we just literally plug you into all of our resources. We plug you into our continuing ed, and we plug you into just all of our business, our different business teachings and stuff that we do, and classes is what I'm trying to say. And you literally just start making a list of the people that you want to share these incredible oils and supplements and products with. And that's how it all starts and begins. So literally sampling people, inviting them to come to a class, teaching them, and setting them up with their first order. And that's what we do. And then we support them after that. So I will open it up for questions if you guys do have any questions. And stop sharing. Okay. Yes, we have a coffee business. It's called Black Velvet Coffee. And we are in Mammoth Lakes, California. So we're way up in the mountains. And then we also have a distillery called Shelter Distilling. And my husband distills all different types of alcohol. So gins, vodkas, all the things. So it's fun. We have all the vices. And I'm the nutritional therapist, so I help everyone detox from all the vices.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
The 100 PV, does that have to be, like, once you do it, does it have to be consistent every month? Like, what would happen if you didn't hit that one month?
So the 100 PV has to be consistent if you are wanting commissions. So if you are technically building this business and you want to have the commissions from the person, so if you're sharing the oils and you're sharing with other people, meaning you're helping them set up their orders, then yes, you will want to have the 100 PV order for sure. So, and it is, initially people are like, oh, I don't want to spend $100, but it's, use that $100 worth of oils doTERRA wants you to be using them. They don't want to just be another company that's like, here, you have to have all of this stuff. That's why we don't have like these big buy-ins. Like they want you personally, Rachel, to be using the oils, using the supplements, so you can speak and educate from a place of passion, from experience. So it's not just, I'm selling this, it's, I actually have been using this. And that is that's going to go so much further. So yes, that 100 PV, in order to make commissions, you have to spend that. Now, if you're just getting your feet wet and you're just like starting and you're like, I'm not going to enroll anybody for a couple months, like if you are placing a 50 PV order, that's fine. But once you're building the business, once you're sharing with other people and they're going to be setting their orders up with you, then you will want to have a 100 PV order.
Okay. I'll try to be a little bit more clear with my question. Let's say that I place a 100 PV order this month and next month, whatever, and then after the month after that, I don't. Do I then what happens?
You don't have to. You don't have to place an order. doTERRA does not have any minimums or maximums. Like you can place an order as frequent as you want or as little as you want. So, but the 100 PV specifically is just for people who are building the business and just for people who want commissions. So for 2 months you're sharing and you're like, you know what, this isn't for me. And that's okay, because this business is not for everybody. And you're like, you know what, I still love the product. I'm going to buy 1 lemon each month, or I'm going to buy something every other month. You can do that. You can totally choose to do that. So you're not locked in, is my point.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
I would say to that, doTERRA has their loyalty rewards program, which you get rewarded on all of your orders that you make. So even if you just place 20 PV a month and then 100 PV the next month, you're still getting that percentage back on all your orders, plus your shipping costs back in points as well. So even if you're just ordering 1 thing a month or 10 things a month, you're still getting those points back that accrue over time. So you can save them up and get maybe a more pricey oil like frankincense or blue tansy. And that's kind of the fun of being able to try new products whenever you are ready to. So yeah, Rachel, if you placed 100 PV the next 3 months and you placed 30 PV on the 4th month, nothing would happen. You would just get less points back at that point.
But I wouldn't. So each month that I'm placing a 100 PV order, I'm eligible for commissions that month, right?
Yes.
So if I were to place a less than 100 PV order the following month, I would not be eligible for any commissions that month?
Exactly.
Or is it like once I start building the business, I have to 100 PV every single month or else I die?
No, you never die. No, you never die. But you won't get commissions if you didn't spend the 100 PV that month. So,
okay.
You know what? Initially, it's kind of, it's a numbers game, and you can decide, like, you know what? This month it doesn't make sense for me. And maybe if you're on a really tight budget, it doesn't always make sense, and that's okay. But what we can help you with as you're building a business, and what Marissa can help you with, is literally coming up with a plan. So those fast start bonuses, you'll have your order paid for like that. You share oils with maybe 5 people this month. Your fast start bonuses from sharing oils with those people, it pays for your order each month. So when I initially started this business, I had my 3rd baby at home, and we were just opening our coffee business, literally had $200 in our bank account. I have a kind of a crazy story. We had lost everything. And we had this little chunk of money, and we're like, we're going to start this coffee business because it has to work. Like, it just has to work. And so my husband is like working his butt off, building this business out. I literally go into labor with Portia, my youngest. She's 9 days late, you guys. Literally give birth to her. The next day is Christmas Eve. So we wait to open our coffee business until the day after Christmas. We have $200 in our bank account. Third baby. Like, the stress that we were under was crazy. Meanwhile, my middle son, Gavin, was having all these digestive issues. And so we were working on doing all this natural healing with him. That's also super expensive, and eating extremely clean. He's going through this diet called the GAPS diet. And so food was like just expensive, but we had nothing, you guys. And a friend of mine shared a bottle of Digestion with me. And I was like, I've always been pretty natural minded. Gave me this bottle of Digestion, and it was the first thing that really like eased his pain and his like digestive, like he was having horrible stomach aches and all the GI issues. He had leaky gut syndrome basically. And so that oil was so powerful, you guys. And I was like, I have to figure out how to get these oils in our house. Like, I need to know more about them. So I started doing all the crazy research, because we didn't have groups like this. We didn't have like a community like this at all. So I was just like divulging all of the information. I had my Modern Essentials book, and I just, anything that would pop up, I would like, I need that oil for this. And so I started educating myself that way. But I also was like, I can't afford the oils, but I knew I needed them. So what I started to do is, Rachel, and this is the whole point of my story, is I just started sharing the oils with my friends and telling them, like, I'm using the Digestion for Gavin's belly, and it's helping my husband my husband's digestive issues, and so on and so forth. And I just started having people over to our home and teaching them. And because of that, I was earning that fast start bonus, and it paid for my oils from month 2 on. Mm-hmm. So I think if you're having a hard time wrapping your head around that, spending the money, just think about what you can do to get that order paid for, so it's not coming out of your pocket. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions, you guys?
When you say that the premiers and the silvers get 1 share, mm-hmm. and you say that they need 1 enrollment, does that mean 100 PV enrollment or any enrollment?
It is a 100 PV enrollment.
Okay.
That's a great question. And then if you are hitting the rank of gold, if you have 2 enrollments that are at least 100 PV or over, you'll get 2 shares.
Awesome. Cool.
Lauren, I'm muted, but I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Oh, I'm so sorry. If you have questions, you can always box me. I'm in the VIP group too.
Oh, Gracie, do you know anything about the VIP or the Rock Your Biz training coming up next month, I believe?
I don't have the specific details, but we will have them.
Okay, perfect.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you guys for all being on this morning. If you do have questions, please feel free to reach out to me and find me, or find the person who invited you to this, or you enrolled, and they will be able to answer. Have a great Saturday, guys.
See you later.